Okay, so I think we'll play. Okay, if you have any questions, get back to answering tomorrow. Okay, okay.
What's your favorite spot? I want you to know big flamingo with a
I don't know. I'm sorry.
But I really here. My sister in Boulder, Montana. Yes, she was just delighted. So I told her, and I said, I will tell her. And you she's got a couch under a little tree right next to her patio.
It's so hard to use.
Sitting right beside the patio, she's in the back where people come see it all the time. Kind of under the tree, she thought it would be sheltered a little bit. Oh, you are? Oh,
yeah, that's very good.
I just read the article in the paper this morning. I have a friend who goes there. Is it Mark?
They've been trying to get knowledge in libraries built. But I didn't know that was this year.
They first said blue, and I
each one's return.
not as yes.
That was from the they just mentioned the article. The article's about one day. It was that they shared the same to the article that and I put information on
Did not make a jar of it.
Well, it's 5:30. Shall we begin? And it looks a busy meeting today. There's lots of important things, but that it should go very smoothly. Public input, our usual thing. Come to the front, introduce yourself, say what you want to speak about. 5 minutes per person, or 15 minutes per second. Anyone who'd like to make a comment to them?
I think Felix did, but he didn't hear what you said.
Oh, did you want to make a public comment tonight, Felix, before the meeting begins with the other business? Do you want to make a public?
Yes, I would like to.
All right.
I would like to withdraw my candidacy for a seat on the board. I didn't know that Jane Trow had volunteered, and I had asked the city manager if there were other candidates, and he hadn't had that information. And I think Jane is about 2,000 times better than I could ever be. Therefore, I would like to withdraw my candidacy.
Thank you, Felix. I'm sure you will do a good job in helping many other ways around in the community, so thank you for your intentions. Anyone else?
I have a question.
Yes.
It sounds like there's only one candidate for the board at this time, and I thought that the applications that were from last March would be held for 6 months to be reconsidered.
No, I don't believe so. No, and there's been information out there. Generally, by that time, people decided something else to do, but no, they weren't considered.
So they don't have
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Reading of the minutes from the June meeting, could everyone read them so that we can deal with them like a consent agenda item? Do you need to read them aloud? Apparently not, but I have a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I second it.
All in favor? Aye. And we go right to director's report.
Okay. All right, since we didn't have a meeting last month, I've still given the statistical report to the board, so they have statistics for June and July. June was wrapping up the fiscal year, and July is starting up the new one. Denise has been helping me to understand these ledgers, and unfortunately she wasn't in town this week because I had a really big question about the collection development section, which we talked about before. It shows us as having not spent anything, but nothing could be further from the truth because we spent $4,130.34 since July 1st to now. So we're really rolling along with the collection, and I don't want anyone to be concerned with that because I'm thinking that maybe this is just showing that we have $73,000 in that budget, and this was starting out for the fiscal year. So we have been buying plenty of materials since July 1st. And if there's no questions about the general ledger, I will go on to the other statistics that we gathered. We have the miscellaneous statistics. Don't seem to be in here, but did anyone bring their packets that I sent you?
We're just thinking about that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to take time out.
I missed that.
I don't want to take time out of the meeting to run back to my desk. I usually have everything in this folder that I need, so I apologize for that.
No, but Linda, it was in her packet.
Yeah.
Or maybe you've got a packet you want to go to.
Oh. Yeah, can I just read them off? Yeah, the miscellaneous statistics are things about materials donations to the library. So in July, we had 1,615 books donated to the library. Out of those, we added 98 to the collection. And we replaced 17 books that were already in the collection that were in bad condition that we were able to replace with new things. The Chapter 2 book sale in July, I made $134. So that means that in the 3 months it's been operating, we made $500. And that doesn't include what we've done in August so far. So I think it's doing really great, and I'm proud that it's moving along and doing what it's supposed to do. So the library expense and the library statistics too. I usually go over those. I'm not here. Do you have that, Arlene?
Yes, I have a little packet.
Yeah.
In orange.
I think they're still sitting in the printer. They're in the printer. Okay. So for a while we were in the minuses on our percentages. We were minus. So fortunately for July, we've kicked up in every area. Patrons registered, 8 more, but it's not a little bit more. Holdsville, in every area we've gone up. So I think we can attribute kind of low numbers before to summer, vacations, and various other things. So we're doing really, really well in the library right now. Are there any questions from the board?
Sometimes it must seem like everything's statistics, but they have to keep track of everything, and then it has to be given to everybody, and that always makes me think about that person who drowned in an average of 1 inch of water. You make statistics for many things.
Well, they're really important for us, and I get a lot of value from them in every way, and it helps us to know what we need to do better on. So, yeah, I'll just move on to the things that I do.
I have one question from the general ledger for the 12th period, which must have been the month of June. Under miscellaneous revenue, year-to-date amount is $13,046.16, and the budgeted amount was $5,000. Where did that money come from?
I'm not sure where you're at.
Okay. This? That's about the 4th item down.
Oh, okay, miscellaneous revenue.
Yeah. Is that a misprint of some kind?
Oh, I don't think so. These come from Denise and City Hall. So your question is about
Where would the money have come from?
what is miscellaneous revenue?
Right. That's a lot of miscellaneous revenue.
Yeah.
$8,000.
Yeah, is this something I can get back to you on?
Sure.
Because Denise is out this week and I'm
You
going to
bet.
ask her. So we're concerned about the minus 8,046.16.
Right, which means that it was an overage, that's the variance.
So it sounds like we got 8,000 more than we had anticipated.
Right.
Yeah, that's a very good question, and I'll find that out for you and email everybody on the board next week.
And there is a variance for the county library funds. Is that just the nature of the beast and summer on this same page underneath the library funds? Are we okay with that?
What's your question about?
We're at 102.17 cents. Do we have to give any of it back?
So that's library funds.
That's library funds.
So we just got a little more than we had thought.
That reminds me.
Right. $14,000 more, plus then $8,000 extra in miscellaneous revenue. I mean, keep it coming. That's just,
As long as it goes
It's
out.
kind of important to know where it comes from.
Yeah, Denise and I have actually sat down and gone through everything on here,
Okay.
but it's still confusing to me. And so I think it's just something that I'll have to learn going on.
And July is the first month of the new fiscal year, so that whole thing is around as well.
Are there any more questions on that? Okay. So then I'll just go on with the rest of the report. We are having computer classes in September that are new and that will make use of the laptops that were purchased by the former Library Foundation. And we have flyers about this up on the desk. Anybody wants to take one? Who wants to be in class? We have how to use email and beginning Microsoft Word. And those are going to be, email are the first 2 Wednesdays in September. Microsoft Word is the second 2. And a person would need to go to both classes to get the full benefit. These are being done by Kathy, our computer tutor, and they are free. So I'm really happy to get those going. And if they continue, well, they'll continue based on interest. We've also talked about a lot of other ideas for classes. So if this is successful, we'll just keep going.
Will there be something in the paper in addition to the 2 items that are traditionally in the library column? Because they're the same things over and over and over. And
We're having a problem with them.
I think we need to get that.
I know that's already been done, Janet. It's,
Okay.
I mean, I sent that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on with the e-news, but they did do our summer reading program announcements, and they have not done the computer class announcements. So
I
maybe
read the paper today and I thought, I read those same
I know.
things for.
And after a while, you don't read them anymore,
No.
and then you don't pick up the new ones, but there hasn't been anything new for a while.
Yeah, I know one of our staff called the editor of that paper and said, "What's going on?"
Mhm.
She hadn't asked me about it, but he assured her that he would look into it, but we're not getting anything because these are automatic things that happen. I have a list of who I publicize to. And I just go down the list and mark it off every time I have a program. And I'm pretty upset with them right now. They're not putting my announcements in. But I do have plenty of people in this class.
Good.
I mean, we have the board out front. Most people have signed up by seeing the board out front.
Sure.
Then you're coming in the library. We have signs up in the library. It's on Facebook. It's on our website. So I really don't anticipate not getting people for the class. But I do expect when I send announcements to the local paper that they end up in the paper. So that's distressing.
I don't know how many people read the local paper, but
I think we get more traffic to our website, frankly. But
people are learning to go to the website. Oh,
yeah, and this is just an aside. This is another reason why I feel very strongly about taking our publicity into my own hands by starting a blog on the website. And I've approached Rochelle about it, and she's working on an area. There's like a background area that you can create things in, and then I can look at it and approve that. So we're working on getting a blog going, and then that way everybody will know that's where you go for the very latest information about the web. And our staff is looking forward to writing things for that too. Okay, so if there's more information about that, some other big news about the past month is I fired the janitor service that we had. Long story short, they charged us for a job that they didn't do. We expected to get steam clean carpets. And when I was in the library on the 4th of July, after we participated in the parade, I noticed that they were using a different machine, like that kind of stand-up one that's not as good. And so when he came to visit us, the owner of the franchise company, he presented us a bill for full price for steam cleaning, and that's not what happened. So we got a the bill that eventually came was $500 less. So we would have been ripped off for $500 for that job. So another big thing was we were able to determine that they were only spending 37 minutes in the library every time they came to clean. That is highly unacceptable. And that was also after both he and his wife had told us that a standard job in the library would be 2 to 2.5 hours. So not acceptable. So what we've done is go back to Mark of Excellence Janitorial Service, and they're based locally. The woman who owns it is Erlene Raines. They have been working in the library for the past 5 years, and when Anna was trying to cut money out of the budget, they went by the wayside. And she went with the lower price. And I thoroughly understand why she did that, but I don't always think that cheaper is better. Usually it's not. So instead of $8.90 that Janet King was getting, Erlene is $10.90 a month, which I think is very well spent, extra couple $100. We've already noticed people commenting how much better things look and smell. Yeah, so I'm very happy with them. So that's about it on that. Upcoming, Sarah and I are going to be involved in the Ford Institute's Effective Organizations programs. This is a really, really excellent opportunity for pretty much anybody involved in nonprofits in the community to go and get free information about working with nonprofits. And actually, any of you on the board could be involved in this as well. And I'd love it if someone from the board would also be involved. Just to go over briefly what they're going to cover with us. The Effective Organizations program is designed to develop your skills and knowledge of successful leadership and management of nonprofits. Facilitators will deliver 16 to 24 hours of training on effective organizations focused on these 4 core topics: vision, mission, and strategic planning, organizational leadership, resource development, operational management, and this also comes with follow-up assistance, 60 hours worth from a Ford facilitator. This is a really outstanding chance for us to be involved. So I'm really happy about that. Sarah has already been through the first year of this program. This is a 5-year program that the Ford Family Foundation is offering in Estacada.
5 years?
It's 5 years. Yeah.
Pretty significant.
I didn't go through the first year.
The other part of it. So when they sent out the email, they mentioned something in the fall, but they didn't list the dates.
Because they were still looking for the proper venue for that, but I think it's settled on October, the second week in October, and then another time in November. So it's a Friday and Saturday each time. I can email you that though.
Okay, that'd be great.
Any questions about that? Okay, so we just finished up with the summer reading program. We had 241 kids sign up and 2018 sign up. It's pretty much like last year in terms of attendance in the programs. The biggest draw was Reptile. And the last one was last Thursday. We had ice cream party. That was very successful. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Learned a lot. We'll do it differently next year. But yeah, now it's on to other things.
Did we get a number of new applicants for library cards? And
Yeah, the number did go up for that. I don't think it was terrible. It's probably between May and June, going from 47 to 70. Did you see that bump up? Yeah, okay, never mind.
so I'd like to compliment you on the program. At that point, you're doing 2.5 jobs, yours and the one that was Anna's. And when we lost the youth services, picked up that also. Sarah ended up picking up the teen program because the person who was running that quit. And so there's been a lot of extra work this summer. And certainly Lori did a wonderful job. She did on the clouds out there in the children's room and the cave and the display case. And I think it was very successful.
Yeah, I really couldn't have done things without Lori and Sarah, and I do want to commend them highly, especially Sarah. She's always a really good right-hand person, and she just walked right into the teen thing. Didn't even ask her about it. She volunteered to do that. And we got more kids. We got more people once we just started some really basic stuff. And yeah, it's a good time. And Lori is also, her energy is outstanding, and creativity. So they're very important people on our team. And all right, so the next thing is the part-time librarian interviews. Just from doing this the last couple of months, I mean, it was clear to me after about a week that we need someone else. I mean, the library cannot function at the level the community expects us to function without having someone in that position. So I decided to go to the Emporia State University program for some help. In case anybody doesn't know what that is, it's a distance learning program, and it is based in Emporia, Kansas, but there's a Portland office. They offer a degree program for a Master of Library Science in addition to other degree programs. And they're usually kind of the first port of call if you're looking for people that just got out of library school. I felt that by going to get someone who just got out of school, it would be, number one, a great opportunity for them, and for the fact that we are not going to be paying a full-time salary, that it would be someone who could come in and maybe learn something, we hope stay. Because if they're good, we want to pay them more, we want them to stay, we want to give them more hours. So I have gotten 4 people. I worked with the coordinator of the program and told her what we were looking for, and she gave me the names of 4 people that kind of fit the bill of what we needed here. So we will be interviewing 4 people next week, next Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'm excited about one in particular, but they're all really good. And I think they'd be great for our library.
And of course, it will be a little bit while they get used to us as well.
Right. And once we narrow it down to maybe one person, I would like for the staff to meet her. So far it's just women. And if someone from the board would like to meet her as well, I welcome you to meet her. Just see how, see what you think. It's going to be kind of a different scene with this librarian. The position that I took when I started here was a lot more responsibility. This one won't be that way. There's plenty for this person to do, but it will be more focused on reference, outreach. A couple of the people have Spanish language skills. A couple of people have youth, like teen and kids experience. They're just, if there's great on paper as our person, or vice versa. Good choices.
Will you keep us informed by
Yes,
email?
Absolutely. So that's about all I have in the director's report.
And that moves us right into old business. Meeting for bylaw review / new board member orientation.
Well, I just put that on there because we were talking at the last meeting about making sure the new board members kind of were on the same page with everybody and that everyone on the board understood your roles and how you could best serve the library. So I wondered if the board wanted to discuss having a meeting or to wait, keep it next time, or to set up a meeting now, or just to bring it up again.
Do you have? I don't want to schedule anything right away when you're interviewing for a new
Yeah, it's going to be
librarian.
Yeah.
I know that I have quite a large notebook that I'm ready to pass along that has the bylaws and about every other word written on earth in it that I'm so happy to share.
Well, go ahead, Jen.
I read the bylaws again this morning, and I thought there is so much conflict in the bylaws, and I know it stirred up a kerfuffle last time, but it really needs to be smoothed out. It really does. So that one section doesn't contradict another section. Yeah.
That's really why I wanted to bring it up. And like I said last time, if we could do it in a manner that, people feel is transparent or we can have, just to get it out there. But it does need to be done because there are some things that just aren't going to work.
And we're going to be choosing a new library board member tonight, and then we'll get another one possibly next month, isn't? Then it might be better to wait until after that. And then we'll have a solid board.
Sure, I totally agree with that. But I do feel like it's something that needs to be done.
And perhaps it should just be done all around the years. So Janet and I thought we were helping out by volunteering to do it, and then it didn't expect it's got to be out here. And now, and has the city adapted the new employee handbook?
Yes, that was voted on by city council.
That has to go. That has to fit in the bylaws. There's things in the bylaws that we can't do, and it might be fine to write it down that the treasurer will sit on the city council, but that can't happen. The city doesn't allow that. So there's some things that we need to work on.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that keeps kind of coming up so we can do that eventually.
There will never be a lull, but if you see a time sometime in September that you think we might be able to do this, then we could meet and start looking things over.
Well, just to mention too that, September is just astonishingly busy because October 1st I have to have this state library report compiled, and whereas there's a lot of help for that, I haven't done one of these before. It's just really time consuming. It's really tracking down the right numbers, and that's deadly important to me, is to have the right numbers in there. So, and another thing is the strategic plan. We were going to meet again in September, and training a new librarian. So it's definitely busy. It's definitely busy. Okay, so you were saying we'll revisit that in the September meeting?
You can do that, or if you see that there might be a break and there's some point that we could call a special meeting, because it is something that we need to go over carefully so that people understand. And we can say that, well, it's against the city handbook, it's against state law, it contradicts another part of the bylaws, and for them not to think that we have just gone and written it all down ourselves in a different way, because that wasn't correct.
Yeah, and it seems like something like this might take a couple of meetings as well instead of just one. All right, so put down for September.
And we've moved along to new business.
Okay, so I'm going to let Sarah discuss this because she's really on the front line of the circulation issues. But basically what this means is that there are some things in our library card use policy that are not in sync with the way the other libraries do this. And we need to change the wording in Article P of the policies. And I've written up some wording working with Sarah, and we've all gotten that. So we just want to vote, since the board usually votes on policy, to approve that so we can get that changed to put it in policy.
Okay, so it states that if you have someone else's card in hand, that you can check out the owner's hold and pay fines, but you cannot check out items that are not on hold. which I would like to change that because you may not necessarily know that Jane is actually Sue. And so we have put down here, staff assumes that a patron that has another person's library card in their possession was given permission to use said library card by its owner. However, a card will not be honored if the patron called in and said their library card is lost. There's a pop-up that will say library card lost, and then we will right then and there ask for photo ID. So then we would know that that library card is stolen or lost and someone picked it up off the ground. And the second one that we would not honor is usually there are messages on the cards indicating that maybe there's like family members that have gotten the card before, and we have put messages on the card to say you must show ID at checkout. So if we see any of those two pop-ups, we wouldn't honor the card. But I would like to be able to check out things that are not on hold, put things on hold, pay fines, although if we do know that it's not the person, we would not give them the information concerning titles or subject matter that should not be disclosed, but fine amounts can be. So example would be, okay, well, we know that mom is paying her 3 children's cards, so if the kids were not there, we would not give them that receipt.
So they would, we don't disclose what kids check out on their card, so their mother wouldn't see what they look up.
And then renewing items for members of the household who have the library card in hand, and then also phoning the library. And with that, you can actually stay the library card. And if there are some staff who will ask, questions to verify that you are that person. But we would like to be able to renew those, and we do that already, and I've been trained that way. But in our confidential policy statement, it says the total opposite. Is that clear?
But as a parent, all they have to do is they can go online at home, and if they have information, they can get what's checked out.
Yeah,
They can do it, but that's at home.
Right.
It's just that we
Yeah.
here in the library protected,
Right.
So basically, we just want to change the wording and have the board approve it.
And fair to say to move, changing the wording.
I move the red is the changes.
It's what's in blue. Yeah,
Oh.
everything in blue is the new wording.
she sent out a new one because she may have still the old
Yeah,
one.
it is. We changed it very, very little. Like, it means the exact same thing. So no, it didn't send out what I did today. But inside, it's identical except for like 2 or 3 words.
This is what's changed.
It should be in blue text.
Blue text is most of everything except for about 10.
Yeah, we changed that. We rewrote all of that.
You will be able to check out, the word will is inserted. Okay.
So is there a motion?
I saw one.
Second? We have a second. All in favor? Aye. And that will help streamline the process and not contradict itself, and that's what we should do.
So that motion we just need was to approve the recommended changes to policy P appendix. It's appendix P in the library use policies.
So the motion to approve the recommended changes to appendix P.
So this is in the bylaws.
It's in the library policy.
It's in the policy.
And it's on the web, so a lot lot of people look at our policies on the web, so it's just important that it jives with all the others. But there was none opposed to that. Thank you. Karen, before you move on, I just want to point out that I actually did have all this stuff in my hand. I'm sorry. I'm never going to put a paper clip around everything again.
Put big numbers on the top. So.
Yeah.
Okay. You go to 2.
I guess I would like to point out the public computer sessions, though. Those keep increasing. And in July, we had 1,763 public computer sessions, and they're usually averaging about 35 minutes on that. And for our website visits, we had 4,267, which is slightly down. But yeah, we get some really good stats from Rochelle, and yeah.
Is there any problem with the computers the last couple of days because of the problem with McAfee? Or do we have McAfee?
Not at all.
McAfee has some big problems. I think that Microsoft is maybe like moving along into 8, and McAfee couldn't handle it, and Reliance Connects, it wasn't them. And so you can get on the phone, Reliance Connects give me a telephone number to call. And I spent lovely hours speaking with Raj in India, and he was very fine and very calm, and finally we said, okay, we'll come back to this later. But there were just so many things, and that's probably what it was Microsoft was changing, and McAfee wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, actually, the computers have been working pretty well lately. We have all the kids' computers back, which took a huge amount of time. I'm just really anxious for Network to recover, but they're having trouble hiring people, and they serve 11 libraries, and it's the usual thing. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people can look at them, and they're armed. And especially, I think people at the end of summer, they're going to be doing more and more job searches on their computers. And they're going to, you'll see even more use of them. Jane, I think you're up in the hot seat.
Oh dear.
Is that the hot seat? Yes. Would that be all right? You can certainly have to sit someplace else.
All right, we're happy right here.
This is Jane Crow. I've known her for about 1,000 years. And she was very active when we were building the library. And she's very active in just about everything in town. So I taught her 2 sons, and they were certainly scholars, and they're one of the reason why. So, tell us about yourself.
Well, we moved here in 1964, so I've lived here most of my life. My husband was a music teacher at the high school, and I worked in the school district in several buildings as a secretary. I retired in 97, and I've just, I have spent a lot of time volunteering since that time. So that's probably the salient information.
And you actually use the library.
Oh, yes.
Weekly, check things out.
And my grandchildren are crazy about it. They make a list of what they want to do when they come to visit. Go to the library. It's always on.
Always on Sunday, but they always get to come.
And they check out hundreds of books. Probably really boost the circulation.
Now, I guess I could forewarn you that to bear in mind that no good deed goes unpunished. But I think you'll be happy working with the board if you'll do it.
I would be happy to. I would be happy to. I'm sorry that Felix withdrew. He would be a great trustee, but I'm more than happy to serve on the board.
My term ends September 30th, and October 1st you're on board. So we will have many kinds of materials to get to you so that you can be prepared. Yeah, sometimes in the past we've just been kind of thrown in the water, and that was okay because everybody else, could guide you along because they've been there longer. And then there have been turnover, but it is kind of nice to have that big notebook that has everything. And then you get to go look at it from time to time. Oh my. And you'll be informed. Could I have a motion to appoint Jane Crow to the library board?
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Certainly, Dee. I'm so glad you're doing this.
Thank you.
One choice it will be.
The city council will ratify.
Since you've been on the city council, I think that she will.
But officially they have to.
Yes, they will. And they'll do that at their
This is scheduled, yeah, this is already scheduled out for the first meeting of September.
Yes.
It's on the city council.
And the city council meets this Monday.
They
So-
do, but I think that that is not when it will come up. From what I was told by Denise, it would come up the second, the first meeting in September. Yeah, she outlined all the whole process for me, so yeah.
This is a good time to bring up the membership of the library board. We have 5 members. It's the smallest committee in the city. By city code, there must be 2 residents of the city. The other 3 members may be from anywhere in our taxing district, outside the city limits or inside the city limits. And it's all good. So nobody's, I think, has ever been able to show us that somehow those outside the city limits have been slighted. And that hasn't happened. But that would be the explanation why. This seat is open for everyone. The only 2 designated seats are that there must be 2 people from the city. And that would be Janet Baldwin and Suzanne Sager. Those are the designated seats. The other 3 are open to all. Oh, we're just about at the end. Janet, do you have any comments?
No, I don't. Very pleased with Jane's acceptance of the task at hand. And I do think that we do need to look at those bylaws and so on again. If it takes a work session or a special session, whatever needs to be done. No comment?
Suzanne, thank you for bringing this into us. 9 reasons to save public libraries. And this is quite current, August 8, 2012. And it looks like there's some good material. Is this for your membership in the Library Association?
It was actually put on the American Library Association list as being a good article, so I went to it and printed it out.
Those things are important. And what comments might you have this evening?
I'm going to have to apologize because I won't be here next month. I am going on vacation from September 18th to October 1st. Yes. We're actually going on a cruise. And I'm very hopeful that our soon-to-be adopted daughter's passport gets to us in time, since we're planning on taking her with us. After all, it'll be a lot more fun with a 2-year-old.
Yeah. It might be.
It should be. It'll be a lot of fun.
Treasury position.
And I don't think I've really done anything with the treasurer position. I don't know if that's a position that's needed or maybe someone else should do it or what. I know that next month they're going to bring up the president of the library board, since Karen will no longer be the president. And I like to say that I'm interested if I wanted that position. But like I said, I won't be here, so.
You might come back and find you're wearing a new hat.
Yes. And she's worn that hat before.
Sure.
So,
And I have done that before, and I'd be more than happy to do it again. But that's going to be decided by whoever's here.
and my closing comment, did you have?
Am I allowed to have a closing comment?
Yes, you are.
I gave my report and I just kind of neglected to bring up that. I hope I'm correct in saying that I'm having probably, even though I'm just insanely busy, the best time that I've had working at our library for ages. I think our staff is happy, if they're not and I think we have I'm so fond of our staff and really proud of them, and I hope we just keep on with this. I'm having fun, I'm learning a lot, and I appreciate your patience with my learning curve, especially on the numbers. I like numbers, but I like numbers in the plus column. So,
But we're librarians, we like words. Or the numbers.
Yeah, not concepts, but I think things are going really well, and the thing is that I'm really open to continuing that they go really well, and hearing people's ideas. And gosh, we've just done so much stuff in the last couple of months, and there's so much I could tell you. We would just be here for ages. I mean, things like getting donation. We had our first homebound patron died August 4th. Her name was Joe McCord, and I went to her services. She was in the wax in World War II. Went to her services, and her son's employer sent us a check for $75, which is incredibly generous. And be in touch with them. Of course, thank you cards, thank you notes, and all that, and just meeting a lot more people in the community. So I'm really enjoying it, and hope we can keep it up.
I think, again, I heard really good things, and it helps the people out into the community and meet people too. So everything I've heard has been just positive, and I'm glad we're willing to keep toughing out some of these rough spots because they're new to us.
There's more to come, I'm sure, but yeah, it's really a growth experience.
And certainly it's been very pleasant this evening. And there's no other business, so meeting is adjourned. That's the way it should be.